Let's go ahead and get started with implementing our search feature. You can see that currently we are on the home view, and what we really need is to add a search bar kind of like on the top right there. So how can we do that? Well, searchable modifier is already available to you, so we can always use a searchable modifier. So I'm going to go and select all of this stuff, which is a navigation stack. And in the navigation stack, let's make sure that we're selecting it correctly. Let's move the padding inside over here. So we have padding on the V stack and not the navigation stack. And now I can say searchable. You can see that searchable does come with a lot of different overload functions. And we are going to put the value into a search state variable. Now this particular state variable, which is the search state variable, does not exist. So I'm just going to go over here and create that. Great. And there we go. We got the searchable bar on the top. And you can see that it's a default bar, meaning you can see that it's working out really good. You click on it, the cancel button automatically appears. So it's already looking really nice with only like one line of code. Now, one of the other things we really need to do in this case is we need to find out that we have to actually search it. So whenever we type something and the search variable over here gets updated because it's binding, the next thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we are firing the onChange event. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to perform the onChange event. Now we can perform it, I guess, anywhere you want. Let's go ahead and see where this ends. So with the list, that's fine. We can actually do it after the sheet. That should be fine too. Let's go ahead and put it right there on change. Whenever the search value changes, then we will get the actual search term. So this change modifier or onChange modifier is going to get fired whenever the search value gets changed. Now, when the search value gets changed, well, it's going to get changed whenever you put something in the search field. That's when the search will get updated. So now we're getting the search term, which is great. And what do we want to do in this case? Well, what we really want to do in this case is display some sort of an overlay with the search results. Because we can't really display the search results right over here, because what we are searching are the reminders itself, the title of the reminder basically. So it will be a good idea to just display some sort of an overlay instead of taking them to a different screen. Okay. Now, what we can do is we're searching it. We can have another variable that is going to be a Boolean variable that's just going to determine if you're searching or not. So let's go ahead and create another variable over here, the state variable, that is only going to be responsible for making sure that you're searching or not. And whenever you're changing, meaning whenever the change modifier gets called, we will check and we will say if the search term is empty, well, if it's not empty, then return true, meaning you are searching, or else return false, and you will assign it to searching. Okay? And based on when you're searching or you're not searching, we will display an overlay. Overlay will be displayed. Let's go ahead and do it again because we do want the alignment to happen in the center. So we'll say center. And the content for the overlay we will display will be the reminder list view. In the reminder list view, we need to pass in the reminders. Okay, so where are we going to get the reminders? Well, this is somewhere we will get it from search results. So where is search results going to come? Well, search results is something that we will have to create. It's kind of like a fetch request that we'll have to do. So if I go on the top, I can create another fetch request. You can see over here, we have a search result fetch request. And we will be able to simply display it. You can actually see a little bit of a hint that the reminders are actually being displayed. Okay. and they're displayed in an overlay. Now, currently you can see that the overlay is, well, not really showing you the whole thing. So that is something we'll have to fix. But the overlay shouldn't even be present right now because I'm not really even searching. So what we can do is we can go ahead and hide the overlay. We can say that if you are searching, then yeah, go ahead and make the opacity to be 1, or else go ahead and make the opacity to be 0. So now let's go ahead and write something over here. Oh, not in the code. Let's write it in the search box. That's weird. Okay, there is some problem going on. Okay, let me go ahead and do it again. No, it's not even allowing me to click over there. Okay, let's go ahead and run it. Xcode Previews is having a lot of issues. You can see that it's not really allowing me to even type in the text box. It always types in the code, which is kind of weird. Let's go ahead and run it in our simulator and see if it produces the same kind of behavior. Even the simulator is not really working fine. Here we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and write something. Well, the first thing we can see over here is, even though I haven't really written anything over here, the overlay is still present. So probably we added the opacity somewhere in the wrong place. Well, we actually didn't even add the opacity. I think it was just gone. I think we just removed it. Okay, so we will say opacity. If you are searching, then yes, opacity will be 1, or else it will be 0. All right, let me go ahead and run it again. The Xcode preview is definitely having a lot of issues. Let's go ahead and run it in a simulator. Okay, so right now, since I haven't really typed anything in the search box, you can see that it is not displaying. So let me go ahead and type something. And now you can see that the search is actually displaying. All right. Okay, so we're getting close. Right now, I believe it is just searching all the different reminders, or getting me all the reminders. We obviously don't really want all the reminders. We only want the reminders that we are searching for. The other thing is that we want to also make sure that the overlay is kind of like the full screen. So add the frame over here, and let's go ahead and run it again. And let's type in something. Well, it's kind of like over here right now. That's fine. We may be able to use some sort of a spacer or something to push everything up or down or something like that. We can fix those problems a little bit later on. That's perfectly fine. But the next thing that we really want to do is we want to search. So right over here in the on change, you can see that we are getting the search, we're changing it. But another great thing you can do is you can change the predicate. So search results.ns predicate, and you can simply change the predicate on the fly. So I can say over here, reminder service dot get reminders by search term, which by the way doesn't exist, search, passing in the search, dot predicate. Now there is no such thing as get reminders by search term, so that is something that we will have to implement, and that is going to allow us to search. So let's go to our reminder service and implement that function. Static function get reminders by search term. Over here we are going to be passing in the search term, and this is going to return us ns fetch request for the reminder. Now what do we do in there? Well, we will create a request with an empty sort descriptor. You can add something over here if you want the result to be sorted. And the important part will be the predicate in this case, because the predicate is going to define that what are you doing, what kind of a condition that you're searching. So I'll say title contains whatever the search term is. So we'll pass in search term. And then obviously we'll return it. So this means if we are searching for reminder hello world, then even if we type in hello, it should come up. So it's not like starts with or ends with, it's kind of like index of search. Okay, let's go ahead and build that. Okay, so that is great. We have done that part. Let's go ahead and run it over here and see if the Xcode preview is working or not. Okay, let's type something over here. I'm going to say reminder, and you can see it's coming up. If I type in M, it doesn't come up. If I type in H, it doesn't come up. If I type in BR, it doesn't come up. It only comes up when I'm actually typing in the reminder. So the search is actually working really nicely. Okay. Now, one of the things you will see, you will notice, is when you're actually searching, which I'm searching over here, this particular window is just so small, it's just hard to see what's going on. So we want this to cover everything. All right, so let's go ahead and see how we can do that. Okay, so what I've done is that I've changed the structure of some of the controls. You can see that on change is now coming after the sheet. Sheet is right there. On change is right there. Then you have the overlay, and you have the frame width infinity on the overlay itself. But even with assigning all of these different things, if I start typing something over here, let's say reminders, you can see that it is boxed into a very small area. Okay, so how do we solve this? Well, let's remove this frame width and see if that helps. And you can see that nope, the frame width is not really doing anything. So another thing we can do is we can wrap everything inside the VStack, the main VStack, inside the scroll view. So scroll view, and we will just wrap everything. And the good thing is that you already have the code, so you can always download it and play it around. And there we go. Just by adding it in the scroll view, you can see that now it has a much larger region to scroll, and we are able to check out all of these different things. And the good thing is that we are actually using the same reminder list view. So we are using the whole component, and it comes with all of those different things. Now, one of the things that we have to check over here is when you are searching for something. Let's say that I am searching for reminder or something. And let's go ahead and add another one so that we have a little bit of a different reminders. So I'll add a reminder and I'll say feed the cat. Okay, now if I go back and I search it, let's say cat, well, it doesn't come up. Well, if I say feed the cat, it's coming up. I think cat is not coming up because you can see that the C is uppercase. So we have to make sure that when we are searching for something, it is case insensitive. So that is another thing we need to take care of. So how do we handle case insensitive search? Well, we have to go back to the reminder service and change our predicate. You can see that right now it's simply using the contains, but we can change this. We can say over here C or CD, which is also going to be looking for diacritic. So that means that first of all, it's case insensitive, and D stands for, and I don't know if I can pronounce it correctly, it's diacritic, which basically means that if you remember seeing different languages, they have these different, dialects or something over it, marks, and they're pronounced differently based on whether those marks are at which position. So it is going to be case insensitive to that also. So CD, let's go ahead and run our application and see that if we are able to perform a case sensitive search. So I'm going to say reminder, okay, that is fine, but what about cat? And there we go. It actually pulls up the cat. Even though the cat is spelled with uppercase C, it does matches with the lowercase cat. So this is all working out to be really good. We are simply able to search these things. Now, one of the things that you will note about this search is if I go to blue list, and let's say that I do all of these. So this means that I'm saying that all of my tasks are completed. And I'll add a new task, and I'll call it whatever, reminder. Oops, again, it's not really allowing me to add this over here. Okay, let's see. So no matter what I do, I can't really add I type anything. So that's like a bug. Again, it's an annoying bug, as you can see already. Okay, so let me say that if I'm searching, oops, so I have to go back again. All right, let's run it in a simulator again. This bug keeps on happening. So if I go ahead and search for, you can see that I'm searching and it's showing me reminder 1 in this case. Okay, let's go ahead and add other reminders. We only have one reminder either anyways. So I'll add reminder 10 and I will say the reminder 10 is completed. Go back and in the search bar, I'm going to write reminder 10. Now, one of the things you will note over here is that the reminder 10, although it's supposed to be completed, is not really showing me as completed. You can see that it's just showing me empty check mark. So this is indicating that it is not completed, but in reality, it is completed. We just completed it. So we want our reminder to show correctly, not in a way that it's resetted or something. How do we do that? Well, in this case, we're going to go back to the reminder list view. And maybe we even need to jump into reminder cell view, but let's check out our reminder list view. And in the reminder list view, everything is being displayed using the cell. So let's go ahead and jump into the cell view. If you see in the cell view, you will find out that the way that the check works is basically reading the checked property. Whatever the value of the property is, it will be either checked or unchecked. But sometimes the reminders, well, they are actually checked. So what we can do is we can go ahead and do something on appear. And we will set the property checked to be reminder.isChecked or is completed. So this is going to make sure that when the page actually loads, whatever the value of the reminder is going to be assigned to the checked. So hopefully it will automatically check it if the reminder is already completed. Now I'm going to go ahead and search, and now you can see it's a different result. You can see that it is actually marked with checked. What about if I click on the reminder and try to update it? I'll say few notes. Okay, few notes is good. What about if I start and date? And you can see that I can update all of those different things, even though this is a completed reminder. Well, I guess I can mark this incomplete also, hopefully. Now let's go to the yellow list, and there we go. It's incomplete now. Pretty cool, right? So this is an easy way to build our search. You can see that we only typed a little bit of code, and we were able to perform the whole search. Now let's go ahead and move to building our statistics information. If you want to learn more about iOS development topics and elevate and accelerate your career, then check out azamsharp.school. This is one of the largest catalogs for iOS development videos. So if you take a look at all these courses, including the MVVM design pattern, you have core data course, full stack iOS development course with Vapor, and we have reactive programming, test-driven development, UI kit, mastering, SwiftUI map kit, reality kit fundamentals, machine learning, and much, much more. So you can get these courses for their individual pricing, as you can see, or what most people do is they sign up for a monthly Azam Sharp Pro membership account, which gives you access to the 22 plus courses, because I'm always working on new courses. It is around like 130 hours of content. You get digital books, downloadable resources, and much, much more. Now, apart from the courses, I also host workshops. Now, these are live online workshops hosted on Zoom, and you get 2 to 3 hours of content in this live workshop. And you can see that I have a lot of workshops which are scheduled for the future, like March 23rd. We're going to have a workshop on server-side Swift. I mean, if you want to become a full-stack developer, you need to learn server-side. You cannot rely on the other third-party platform. You need to learn those things. And if you want to stay in Swift and iOS, then Vapor is the best framework. So in this workshop, we'll be going over Vapor. We'll learn about the routing, we'll learn about MVC design pattern, database integration, and even consuming our API from our application. And look at the pricing, only $50 for a live workshop that's going to be very hands-on. I do have other workshops like Swift Data Fundamentals, and I have another workshop for testing. So definitely check out these workshops. These are going to be amazing, and I always get like really good reviews for the workshops. So that's it. Check out azamsharp.school for all of your iOS development needs. Thank you so much.